Okay, everybody, we are going to get started here. What I need to do is make sure... I don't know if I have game sound here or not. I can't really tell, so we're going to find out. No. Okay. Give me just a second to sort that out. That is... Okay, now I think we got it. All right. Welcome, everyone, to CouchWarrior TV on YouTube. I am the CouchWarrior, and this is a Couch Create segment in which we are going to create a scene in Skyrim which we can record. Yes. But first we have to get to the appropriate location. So, if you wouldn't mind just being patient, we should get there shortly. All right. Okay. My keys mapped? Yes, they are. Wow. Things are working. Let us all knock on wood simultaneously to preserve this luck we're having. Welcome, everybody. As some of you may know, this is a makeup session for the debacle that was last Monday's attempt at a stream. And so here we are. All right. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. We're using console commands today, and we are going to set up a scene. We're going to do it much the same way that I set up the battle scene in the Fleet series. What was that? Episode 104. So I decided to just kind of stick with this location. We're gonna give that a go. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I will show you the methodology that I used to create it. And then you can try it yourselves if you so choose, or you can just observe the madness, whatever you'd like. Let me say hello to everybody. Who do we got here? I see Grumpy Kitty, I see Tom, I see Strudel, I see the Wind, I see William, I see a Grumpy Kitty. Who else? EJ, I see Mila. Wow. Thank you all for coming out on a Saturday afternoon. So, it's... Okay, so, couple of notes here. Some of you saw that I've been kind of working on upgrading the studio, and that comes with some stuff with the software that needs to be reset also. The cool thing about this is we will be able to stream using OBS now. We won't be specifically tied to Game Capture HD, which is what we can confirm actually runs with Elgato Capture Card. What that does is it gives us a whole bunch of new and interesting options. Now, we were using OBS before, but we're using it on the Mac, and it works significantly different on the Mac than it works on Windows. And there were a lot of, I guess, limitations associated with that. So we're going to be able to leave some of those limitations behind. We should be able to do interesting things like use multiple cameras. We should be able to do some voice chat integration, which I would love to do. I would love to get to a point where we can do sessions like this and be connected via voice chat so people can give input and ask questions using voice chat as opposed to just YouTube chat, things like that. But we're going to be rolling out these features slowly going forward as we figure out how the hell they work. Some research is required to make sure that I understand how they work, and I am creating some kind of repeatable process, so every time I do it, it works. That's the hard part. So, okay. Let's get started, shall we? I hope everyone is well. I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. So let's jump straight into the old sausage making process here that is creating a scene. I haven't prepped anything in advance, so this is going to be kind of setting it up warts and all. So enjoy. So first, I'm kind of looking through my powers here. I guess what I'm thinking about is probably leader's teleportation. All right, so get on down here, Fleet. So if you remember, this was kind of this is the area where I staged that initial battle. And we're gonna mock something up here. Should be kind of fun. What I'm going to be doing is sort of a simplified version of what I did before, just so we can actually get through it. Because to set up the initial scene, there was a lot of extra stuff that I did. It wasn't just consoling in Dremora and stuff like that. I actually had to console in some enemies and then dress them in gear and, you know, equip them with, you know, particular spells I wanted them to try and use, stuff like that. I'm not going to go through those steps here, but I am going to try to set up the scene here. So first thing is, I think what we need to do is get our friends. Hopefully they're not all nude. Well, Mercurio is. I'm going to send you packing, my friend.
Need something?
Yeah.
So, you think you can make it on your own then?
Oh, yeah.
We'll just see.
I'll make it on my own. All right, let's send him out of here. He's a sitting duck in his skivvies, so. All right. So, we got our usual suspects here lined up. All right, so everybody is kind of assembled around me here. I'm just using leader's teleportation. Leader's telepathy, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to select the group, and I'm going to tell them all to just wait. Confirm that they're all waiting. I need them to kind of stay put. All right? And just so you're aware, what I'm using here is the extensible follower framework to make this go. So, all right. And now, I am going to quick save. Casting a quick save spell. All right. That is for all you nervous Nellies in the group. Yeah. Or you people who just resent having to watch the same stuff over and over again. I can totally understand that. Okay, so the next thing that we need are some enemies. But before we bring any enemies into the picture, the first thing that we're going to do is open up our console, and we're going to toggle. First, I'm going to toggle, well, we'll toggle the combat AI. So TCAI, toggle combat AI. All right? Hit enter. Okay. So now nobody's going to fight. Now, I'm going to locate some spots here where we want to have some enemies. Help. Let's see. Dremora. No. Is it? Oh, it might be. D-A-E. Dra. Daedric. I'm looking for NPCs. I don't know if they're under Daedra or Dremora. There's too much shit. Let's see. How did I look them up last time? Well, let's do this. There's always plenty of bandits. Let's not complicate things. How about that? Okay, we got some bandit highwaymen. Let's try that. So what I'm going to do here is player.place at me. And I'm going to pick the bandit highwayman there. FF0014. What was it? 014. 7F. All right. And let's bring in two. All right. So they pop in right around me here. Now let's have a look. What I want to do is I want to confirm whether or not they're coming in as identical. No, they're not. Okay, so they're different types of characters, different equipment, the whole bit. That's the important thing. I want variety. I don't want them all to look like, you know, a bunch of quintuplets who are attacking me. That's not what we want. We want some variety. That helps with realism and so forth. All right, so you can see they're not doing anything. They're showing as aggressive, but they're not attacking. All right, so let's place some more enemies. Right up in here. And here I'm going to do the same thing. We'll just reutilize that command. All right, now we got a couple of dudes. That's good. That's good. We're mixing it up. And I'm not sure if these guys are spellcasters or not. It's possible. Some of them could be, or none of them, or all of them. I don't know. All right. This is kind of a confined space over here. So rather than placing 2 here, I'm just going to place 1. All right. My goal here is to make it look like an ambush. So what I want them to be doing is attacking from all directions. Okay. And then we'll make it look like a couple of them came down the hall here. It looks like we're just being attacked by pirates, doesn't it? It's kind of wild, actually. It's a pirate attack, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we've got our enemies. Now, when I did this before, you remember I also had a bad guy up here. So what I did is I placed my bad guy up there. And then once the battle started, he decided to make his way into the battle. And rather than jumping off this ledge, he went all the way around and came out at the top of the stairs here. That worked out good for me because he was my primary bad guy, my primary antagonist. He was supposed to be leader of this outfit, right? So having him come down this hall and kind of attack from the top of the stairs was kind of a cool, sort of prominent position for him to be in. I'm not going to do that here, but I just wanted to let you know kind of what's going on there. If you want an enemy to join the battle and have it be delayed or have them come in a little bit later, one thing you can do is, you know, head on down the hall a ways and spawn them in there and give them some distance to cover first. And so by doing that, you can have your enemies kind of hit the battle in waves, I guess, would be the idea. All right? So now the question is, I've got everybody accounted for. Yeah, Fleet's looking pretty happy with the situation here. Yeah? No, not over there he ain't happy. That's making him mad. But something over here, something this direction, makes him pretty happy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to toggle God mode, TGM, toggle God mode. All right? And that's because we can't have Fleet dying in the middle of this. If he dies in the middle of this, we aren't going to be able to capture the footage we need. All right? And remember, what we're going to do here is we're going to kick off the battle. We're going to slow down time so that we can keep up with it. And we're going to zoom around with the camera, and we're going to get a whole bunch of different angles on this battle. So the important things that you need to know here are going to be camera control, all right? How to slow down the action, and then how to speed up and slow down the camera as well. So that's going to be a big part of the deal. All right, so everybody's frozen. Let's start off by toggling our free camera. Okay. All right. Now we're going to slow the camera down so we can actually deal with it. SUCSM. I'm going to slow it down to just 1. By default, it's set at 10, and you can see how fast it was moving there. All right. We can see we got some enemies down there. We got some down this hall, some directly above us. Now, I don't know how tough these bandits are. I don't know how bad they're going to trash us here. But it'll be interesting to see what happens because pretty much everybody in this group you see before you here they're pretty tough customers. Now, one of the things that you might want to do too is, you know, if you're using a bunch of followers like I am, go around the group and make sure they're all set to essential and that you've got all of the right weapons equipped, all the right spells enabled and stuff like that before things kick off, just to double check and make sure they're going to react at least in somewhat the way that you want them to. That's kind of important. Otherwise, you're going to have to go back and do the whole thing again. All right? So before we start, I'm going to toggle off the camera control. we're going to save here, quick save here. And this is so if something funky happens during the battle, we can always come back and start over, try something else. All right. Now, well, hopefully everyone's got their weapons and stuff. I didn't really... What are you doing, Mirabelle? Let's see what she's got here. She's got daggers. She's got a bow. She's got her short swords. All right, she's pretty good. Faye always looks pissed, doesn't she? She's got a buckler, which I'm sure she will probably equip once she abandons the torch. She's got her sword. Uh-huh. All right. He's got all of his staves and various things and stuff. And, of course, Lydia, we can see she's got all of her stuff. And look, you know, we've talked about this before. She's got the whole vampire gray face thing going on. But actually, I sort of like the way that it looks. I like the fact that her skin is a little bit darker as a vampire. It's actually kind of interesting. So I've decided not to screw with it quite yet. Not too worried about that. All right, so let's set up again. TFC. This time, SUCSM. I'm going to go with 5. 5 is usually kind of my default camera speed just to get into position. So what I'm going to do here is try to figure out, you know, what's the first shot that I want? Well, I know I'm going to have enemies ahead of me that are going to be coming towards the camera, and I've got enemies behind that are going to be passing through the camera unless I come up high enough. So my goal is I'm going to do a panning shot like this that'll hopefully give me enough altitude on the camera that the enemies approaching the battle from behind the camera will pass underneath it and not through it. And that is the objective. All right, so I'm going back and forth here. This is the direction I'm going to be panning the camera. So I'm setting it to SUCSM 5, camera speed of 5, so I can check the path to make sure it's not obstructed or anything weird is going on there. This is the first shot I'm going to get, so the opening shot's kind of important. After that, we're just going to be flying by the seat of our pants, and we're going to be getting whatever we can during the combat, okay? All right, so I'm going to start the camera, say, about here. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to kind of do this in slow motion. Part of the reason we want to do that is going in slow motion will enhance the drama, but it would also give viewers a better opportunity to kind of see how things are unfolding, right? And that when we add music to that, it really enhances the whole dramatic effect of the battle, right? So what I'm going to do is we're going to go SGTM. That's what we're using to slow down time. The default value here is 1. So I'm going to slow it by half, all right? Then I'm also going to SUCSM. I'm going to slow my camera down as well, okay, so it doesn't pan quite so fast. In fact, rather than, I'm going to slow it down even more. I'm going to set it to 3. All right? So all the action is going to be moving at 0.5, and our camera is going to be moving at 0.3. All right? So now we're ready to go. We're ready to start filming this bad boy. So to kick it off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle Combat AI on. All right? And just to keep it all nice and clean, in cinematic looking, I am going to turn off the HUD. All right? I'm going to turn off the HUD using a console command, which is TM, enter. Now the HUD is gone. Now what that does is TM is also hiding our console window. That's considered part of the HUD. So the console window technically is still open right now. We just can't see it. And that's why nothing is happening. That's why everyone is frozen. As soon as I hit that tilde key, it is going to close the console window and things are going to start happening. So I've got one finger on the tilde and one finger on my back key so that I can start my camera panning backwards immediately. All right? So we're going to kick this off and see what happens. Tilde, back. Ooh, they're spellcasters. Okay, I'm panning backwards. Now watch below us. Watch down below us. We've got enemies who might be coming into the scene from below us. That would be ideal if we were able to see enemies appear from below. That would be kind of cool. But we may not get there. Okay, there's a fireball came from below us. Come on, Miravel. Okay, so you can see we're starting to clip now. So that panning shot is basically over. Okay, so I'm hitting tilde, TM to get my HUD back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop time completely. SGTM, and I'm going to do 0.0001. Okay, now time is completely stopped, and I'm going to speed my camera up. SUCSM 5, enter. Okay, now everything is stopped. Now I'm going to reposition the camera, and I'm going to say, okay, let's focus on an area of the battle. Let's focus on, let's see what's going on here with our man Haldir, okay? This could be a dramatic shot. He's got an enemy in front of him, all right? So I'm going to start right here at the edge of this pillar, all right? So SUCSM for camera speed, and I'm going to go 0.2, all right? SGTM 0.5, enter. Now we'll get rid of the HUD again, TM, enter. All right. Now I've got one finger poised on the tilde key and the other one is ready on the strafe right key, okay? So ready, go. Come on, Haldir, open up. There we go. We get to see some spell casting going on. Cool wizard battle happening over here. Oh, that's a pretty good shot. Okay, now he fades out of the shot. I'm going to stop here. TM, get the HUD back. Okay. All right. Now, of course, Fleet, he's not doing anything. He's not doing anything at all because we're not controlling him. Okay, now we're going to get some, hopefully, some good shots of Nefei kicking this guy's ass. That's what I would love to see. So let's do this. SGTM. This time we're going to go a little slower at 3. All right. And SUCSM 0.2. TM. Okay. Now I'm going to strafe. I'm just going to roll backwards on this one. It looks like they're about to get in each other's face. So what I want to do is immediately start panning the camera backwards so that they don't fly into the camera and start clipping. So we're going to start here. Ready, go.
Yield, and I may still show mercy. I'll carve you into
These guys are tough. Some higher level bandits. Okay, now they've gone out of the scene. That's a perfect place for us to stop it, right? All right, so we got a shot of Haldir. We got a shot of Nefei. Let's go see what else is happening here. Well, we got a guy who's going to be picking on Fleet, but Fleet's not moving, so that's just dumb. We're not going to do anything with that. All right, here we got Lydia. We got Lydia. Here's our bad mage. All right. Yeah, this guy, he's a problem. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take a shot here. Let's start on Lydia, and let's pan straight backwards, okay? Let's do that. SG, no. All right. SGTM, we're going to do 0.5. We'll speed up time a little bit. SUCSM, 0.3. And this should be good. I'm going to pan backwards on this at kind of an angle. So we're starting focused on Lydia, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to pan back enough that we'll be able to catch Miravel at the end of the at the end of the panning shot, and we should get some good shots of Lydia wailing on some of these creatures here. So let's give that a shot.
What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do?
Let's see you put up a fight.
It's nothing. I'll mount your head on my wall.
Now, the cool thing is once we actually get into our production software, we don't have to take these shots verbatim. We can take a shot like this. We can make it extra long when we're recording it, but we can chop it into pieces and use elements of it at various times with other footage in between. We don't have to use the full shot. Well, that's kind of interesting. Oh, that's cool too. Look at Fleet just standing there with a freaking grin on his face. Okay, now he's in the shot. We can't be having him in the shot, so that indicates that we're going to have to change our tack here. All right. SGTM 0.0001.
Sure have mercy on you.
Okay. Ooh. We got a bad guy who might be fixing to go down here. And Miravel's getting ready to do some stuff here. So let's pan down the hall here. Well, let's see. Let's wait. Let's wait. Look at Lydia. She's winding up on this guy. She might be about ready to put him out of his misery. So let's get a nice shot like this. If we go like this, we might be able to get a bit of Miravel in this as well. So let's try this. SGTM. I'm going to slow time down a bit more this time. 0.3 SUCSM. Camera a little bit faster. All right. Goodbye HUD. And panning backwards on this one. Oh, she bypassed him. She's going to help Miravel.
If I could just...
Ooh. Miravel's down on a knee. She's taking a knee. Oh, right through the chandelier. That's kind of cool, though. All right. Try this angle. How about that? Okay. Come on, Miravel, get back in there. She can do a lot of damage with the dual flurry. Okay, now they've disappeared through the flames. That's potentially a very cool resolution to that shot. So we're going to keep that in mind when we're editing, right? All right, let's see what's going on. See how you can see kind of how dramatic this is, right? Yeah, all these bad guys that I brought in are they appear to be all spellcasters, which makes them particularly nasty. This looks like maybe an interesting shot. Let's see where it goes here. Up the stairs? No. All right. All right, we'll do 0.3 time. All right. Nefei just took out one of them. Look at that. Look at what Nefei is doing. Got it. Yes. Good girl. Oh my God, that's awesome. Look at that. She just did an assassination on a guy after killing another one. All right, let's pause here. Ooh, that's bad. All right, SGTM. Nefei seems to be on a roll, so what I want to do is I want to follow her a little bit, okay? All right. What do we got here? Okay, Nefei took out that one. She took out that one. This guy is on the ropes. Oh, look at this dramatic, too. We got this dramatic thing as Lydia's charging into battle, right? This would be kind of cool to see, right? In super slow-mo, maybe, right? So let's start here. SGTM 0.2. So we're going to keep time really slow this time. SUCSM 0.4. Oh. I want the camera to go back so she doesn't clip. Nice. Boom. And there's Miravel. Get a good shot of her. Both of them fighting together, right? Which is great. Oh. All right. Now I can see I'm clipping here. So...
Destroy you.
I will destroy you.
Okay. And there's Happy Fleet hanging out in the middle. Just so pleased to watch his team do their thing. And oh, so pleased to be invincible. And Miravel is Nefei is struggling here. She did a whole bunch of damage and then looks like she hit the dirt. So... let's come back here and get this kind of from a spellcaster's perspective, right? Okay, now this time I'm going to try something a little bit different. We're going to get kind of a rising shot like you'd get if you had like a boom-mounted camera. So, SGTM 0.5. I want the action to materialize pretty quickly. Camera 0.4. No HUD. And now I'm using the mouse buttons to go up and down. All right. All right, we hear this guy starting to bitch. He's starting to complain. Ugh, Nefei is still down. That kind of sucks. He's starting to complain, which makes me think that perhaps his days are numbered. So I would love to get a shot of him buying the farm if we can manage it. So what I'm going to do here is... we're going to have the action unfold quickly, but we're going to slow the camera down to 0.3 so that we can get a longer shot and hopefully catch some action happening. Now, again, we probably won't use all of this footage, but we're going to sample all the juicy parts we can from it for our cinematic. All right? Okay, let's go. Okay, now I'm just getting a pillar. So I'm just going to quickly turn the camera. See, now, this guy keeps going down, but nobody will finish him off. Okay, there's action happening here, so I'm just going on the fly, and I'm not stopping time. I'm just spinning the camera around, and I'm going at them different directions. Man, what is this guy made out of? Finish him. Look at that. He had all three of them. Okay, they're running into battle. Let's go back this way. Okay, pan this direction. We get some shots of them running up the stairs. We get some shots of lightning. Okay. SGTM. All right, they've basically gotten out of the action at this point. So let's go up here. Oh, it's over. It's over. All right. The battle is over. All the enemies are now dead. So here's a great opportunity also. Now that the battle is over, we leave everyone kind of in position, right? And this is a great opportunity for us to get some shots of the carnage, right? And this is kind of your post-battle carnage. Okay, so that's basically how it works, ladies and gentlemen. That is how I filmed that piece. It was all done in one take, various camera angles. You could see how all kinds of really kind of cool and interesting things happened along the way that we can take advantage of. We had a number of scenes that were, you know, opened with characters running by in a dramatic way. We had some assassinations. We had lots of flashing and spells. We had people moving through balls of fire. You know, all kinds of cool things that we can use when we're in the editing room, right? So to speak. So that's kind of how that works. So let's set everything back to default. All right. And we're back. So that's it. Now, if I feel like I don't have enough footage or I didn't get footage that was dramatic enough, I can always go back because we created a quick save right before this that will allow us to go back and do the whole thing again. We can run through it a second time, see if we get better footage, or we get additional footage that we can add on to the stuff that we've already gathered. So that is how that works. Pretty quick and dirty. Now I'd say this, what did this whole process take us? It wasn't long at all. We probably spent 30 minutes gathering footage. And I would say, you know, after we cut things out, we can probably depict that battle in a cutscene. It'd probably be about 10 minutes of actual footage. So we're talking about probably a cutscene that's anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes by the time we add lead in and then kind of carnage footage afterwards, splice in some music. It's kind of how that works. Anybody have any questions about that? Any questions, comments, thoughts? Pretty simple stuff, really. Okay, now let's imagine that we want to get some additional shots, right? So here we go. I'm going to ask Miravel to follow me. All right. So she is here. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her a direct command and tell her to wait at this location. Now we're going to come back here. I'm going to position fleet. I'm going to go into third person. Toggle free camera. SUCSM, we're going to do 0.1, so a very slow moving camera. Okay. SGTM, say 0.7. All right. Now, I'm not going to eliminate the HUD quite yet, so we're going to turn that off. All right. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, I need to check and make sure. Yes, I've got leader's telepathy activated. So I'm going to hit my power key, select. I'm going to select Miravel, who is number 4, and I'm going to tell her to follow. Okay. Now I'm going to eliminate the HUD, and I'm going to pan backwards. And what this will hopefully do is it'll send Miravel running to rejoin fleet, and we'll be able to get a shot of her coming down the stairs, right? There she is. Boom, into the scene, right? Yes, extensible follower framework is replacing amazing follower tweaks. I'm using extensible follower framework for Fleet Story. I'm using amazing follower tweaks for my other stories. Okay. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we had in the offing for today's tutorial. Very good. So my plan is I will cut this up into a nice, neat, concise tutorial, and I'll put it out there in the archive with the others, so you guys can refer back to it anytime you want to. Now, this was relatively easy to do. It took us a few minutes to set up. It took us about 30 minutes to record, and I would say that we probably used a total of 7 or 8 different console commands to do this. So the objective, of course, would be then, after the fact, to go into your editing software and then just neatly clip out all of the footage you want to save, put all that footage together, and then create your story around it, and then you can go back after the fact and eliminate any excess footage. So if you've got shots that are too long, you can go and clip them out, kind of go through them, pick out the best piece, and clip out the junk you don't need, and try to make it, pretty concise. Try to restrict your shots to the most meaningful ones. Just because you gather footage does not mean you have to put it in. That's the important thing, because a lot of times you may find yourself getting caught up saying, God, I got this really great shot. I feel obligated to use it. You shouldn't feel that way. Sometimes the best thing to do is leave the shot out and just communicate what you need to communicate, right? So, outdoor shots with wildlife getting in the way. I mean, probably the easiest thing, depending on where you're doing the shots, is just be aware of your camera angles. Anytime you can have a kind of an upward trajectory on the camera angle so that you can get, up above wildlife like that, that's cool. The other thing you can do is you could kind of go through and selectively disable wildlife before you start getting shots. So if you're taking shots somewhere where there's bears in the area, or there's deer that might be cutting across your camera shots and in an undesirable way, you could go through the scene. Basically what you can do is you can toggle AI off. So you can go TAI, and that freezes everything in place, including animals and NPCs. And then you can go around and selectively disable any animals or anything like that that you think could possibly screw up your shot. And then you get your shots after that. So my recommendation on EFF is it has some cool things in it that you can use. It is also limiting as well. And some of the best features that are available in Extensible Follower Framework are not yet available in SE. I highly recommend Extensible Follower Framework if you are playing on Legacy. If you're playing on Special Edition, I don't quite recommend it yet. I don't think it's been updated to take advantage of the new version of SKSE quite yet. So if you're using Special Edition, unless you have a really specialized need, I would consider holding off. That would be my recommendation based on my experience. Because when my game loads, EFF is enabled, but every time my game loads, I will get an error in the upper left-hand corner telling me it can't find what it's expecting from SKSE, which is, I mean, understandable because it's not available. I'm not using SKSE in this game. I'm not using any SKSE-based mods. And as far as I know, the mod has not been updated for SKSE 64. So... yeah, one of the things that I think is most interesting about EFF is the way that you can control groups. The other thing that you used to be able to do, I don't know if it was EFF or there was another mod called Mixed Unit Tactics. If you're playing on Legacy, Mixed Unit Tactics is awesome because you can take a follower and make that follower basically like a captain, and you can assign other NPCs to that character. So you could have 2 captains, each with 3 NPCs assigned to them, and then you can command those 2 squads separately. And so you can have one squad attack the front door, one squad attack the back door, you know, things like that. You can do some really amazing things if you set it up correctly. It can be a little bit confusing to use. Last time I used it, it wasn't very clear how it worked. You had to kind of muddle your way through it to figure out how to configure your squads. But once you had them set up, it was pretty awesome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I got for today. I do appreciate your attendance, and I apologize that we weren't able to kick this off as normal on Monday night. It is kind of nice to do it on a Saturday just because we are able to catch a few viewers in other parts of the world that we can't normally on a weeknight here in the United States. So it is really nice to see some additional faces here that we don't normally get to see. That is very nice. So what is coming up this week? We got some cool stuff coming up this week. As far as tomorrow goes, I think we are going to be doing a cacophony session tomorrow. So if you're on Discord and you're interested in voice chat, jump on board about 3 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be doing some voice chat on Discord. And then on Monday night, we are going to be doing a 3-play session. And half of that is going to be Matt at the helm, and half of that is going to be Joe at the helm. I'm not even sure at all what games these guys are planning on playing. I've asked them both, and they've been cagey about their selections. So it's possible we may go back and play some more sticks, but I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be playing. That's going to kick off at 6 p.m. Central Time, and if we're true to form, we'll play until about 9:30 or 10. So that'll be anywhere from 3 to 4 hours of playtime. Okay. And then Tuesday night is Stu's Day live stream, all gaming all the time. So that'll start also at 6 p.m. Central Time, and we'll put in at least 4 hours of playtime in Skyrim. I'm not exactly sure what character we're going to play yet. I'm still thinking about that. Last week we played Shadeling. The week before that we played some Marl. If anybody has any input on that, that would be great. There are some characters that I'm not ready to play yet in a live stream. Vander is one of those. But Marl is certainly open. Shadeling, I think we'll hold off on him because we played around with him last week. So I would say Marl is an option. I would definitely say that Sagramore is an option as well. So feel free to cast a vote if you like. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I may make that final determination based on input from you guys and based on which characters are most ready to go. So let me know. So some cool stuff going on this week as we kind of go into the Thanksgiving holiday. Anyway, thank you all. I really appreciate your attendance, and I will see you next time. I will see you next time.